Hey you guys, what's up? This is Morgan from Lett Insights, and we are here to talk about Mercury in Leo. So for starters, guys, if you are not subscribed to the channel, making sure that you are subscribing so you get notifications sent to you about when I post. Also, I'm wanting to get to 1,000 subscribers. So tell your friends, tell your families, tell everybody you know, and it's not to get paid, which is a great thing, but it's to be able to have YouTube community. I want to be able to have YouTube community so that I can post daily insights. My daily insight subscription will then be posted on YouTube, right? So people who don't want to do the email thing, they can just see, okay, what is the moon in today? What is going on today? What is it like? Everything that I would typically send in the horoscope subscription, which is free, which you can sign up to in your email, is going to be on YouTube community. But I have to have 1,000 subscribers. So I need for everybody who's listening to this to subscribe, to send it to your astro geeky friends and family and whoever else. Like share it so that we can build a closer community so that I can serve you better, right? So you're not subscribing for me, you're really subscribing for yourself. Also, like this video if you find anything interesting or concerning or have thoughts. Feel free to comment. I always respond. I love my subscribers. We really feel like family. So yeah, let's get started. Mercury in Leo. So for starters, for people who are new to astrology or aren't familiar with Mercury, Mercury is the planet of communication. It really does deal with thought. It deals with processing information, absorbing information, talking, writing, anything that deals with being able to express oneself, being able to learn, not in the sense of Jupiter. Jupiter wants to have hands-on experiences. Mercury deals with the mind. It deals with the mental, logical, analytical aspects of life. Mercury rules Virgo. And if you think about Virgos are very critical. They're very thoughtful. They're very opinionated, but they're also very productive and efficient because they think. And they have earthly energy, which allows them to be grounded and to do. And so that's Mercury, right? But Mercury also rules Gemini, which is the chatterbox of the zodiac, which is the know-it-all of the zodiac, which is the communicator of the zodiac, like the it person on every topic. Gemini knows everything. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. If you look at the glyph, the symbol, the representation of Mercury, it has antennas. It's thinking, it's looking up, it's looking into the mind, it's extending itself into the higher realms of consciousness. That is Mercury. So Mercury is in Leo. Mercury entered Leo on June 26th at 8:19 p.m. So nighttime, it's not something that you're just going to instantly feel, right? People think that like, oh, the planets move, I feel it. It's a slow process. You feel the planet before it even moves into the next sign, right? We feel energies maybe 8 to 10 degrees before we even get to the next sign. We're already starting to bring those characteristics into our lives. If you think about traveling, right? Before you even get to your destination, if you're flying on a plane and you're flying to Jamaica, before you get to Jamaica, you see Jamaica, right? You can see the coastline of Jamaica. You can see the water. You can see the land. You might not be able to see the details, but you have an understanding of the circumference, what it looks like around the edges. And that's what happens when we move into planets, is before we even get there, we already see it. We already know what we're walking towards, but we just haven't entered that dimension yet. And that's what this is all about. And so Mercury and Leo. Right now, Venus is still in Gemini. Venus will be in Gemini until July 3rd, where it will then move into Cancer. Mars is still in Cancer, but Mars will move into Leo on the 1st. The Sun will remain in Cancer until it moves into Leo on the 22nd. Mercury will remain in Leo until until the 19th, where Mercury moves back into Cancer. And so this is a very interesting time because we're in retrograde season, right? Which is big for the summer because there's a lot of, which tells me again, I think I need to do like a separate video on retrograde season. Like I have individual videos of each planet, like Saturn, Neptune, not Chiron. Uranus isn't, but I think it's only Neptune, Pluto, and Saturn, and Jupiter. Those are the only ones that are retrograde right now. But I think I need to just do an overall video about retrograde season, especially during the summer and fall months, where there are so many planets, outer planets, that are slowing down. Now, Mercury in Leo, Mercury is in its retrograde shadow zone. And so when Mercury is in its retrograde shadow zone, communication barriers are starting to be conflicted. So you'll really start to see glitches, like your computer will naturally tell you to slow down. So like for me, MailChimp, I use MailChimp for my email subscription. MailChimp will not work on my phone. I have to physically get up, go to my computer and type. That for me is slowing me down, right? Because I want to be on the go. I want to be able to write emails, whatever I need to do from my phone. But it's telling me, no, you need to slow down. You need to take the longer route. And it's not necessarily pushing me, to take the slow path so I don't accelerate. It's just the energy giving us an opportunity to reflect, right? And that is what this particular Mercury and Leo energy is about. And that's going to be conflicting because Leo is a fire sign. And so Leo is one that wants attention. Leo is one that is brave and courageous at the same time, so insecure, but is also willing to use its insecurity to fuel its bravery. It's like it has to be insecure so that it can be strong until it gets to this place of understanding that they can just be themselves. It doesn't have to be one or the other. They just be themselves. And that strength, that vulnerability is going to naturally come through. And that's where we are in our communication, is that we are having to be more brave, right? We are having to be more courageous. Mercury in Leo is all about making bold statements, sharing your truth, sharing your passion, sharing what makes you you. That is what Leo is all about, and understanding how that ties into the individual. But Leo is dealing with travel. And so a lot of us are mentally traveling. We're mentally going to new places. It doesn't always have to be physical. Even though people who are like public speakers or who are in professions or areas of work where they are traveling a lot, or they speak to public people, you know what I'm saying? Like they speak publicly. This is a great time for them to travel for their work, go to different conferences and festivals and things like that. So if you are an orator or a public figure or a teacher or whatever you are, a lecturer, this is a really great time for you to travel and to try something new in your delivery, being more enthusiastic, creating more of an entertainment rather than a discussion. Would be really powerful for you. Now, how this affects us personally is different to each individual. I really do recommend that you take a look at your chart, pull it up. I always tell people to pull up your chart while we are doing the videos, because it will help you understand how this directly affects you. So pull up your chart and see where in your natal chart where Leo is, and then just take a look at how that functions for you. What house placement is it in? What planets are near there? What aspects does it form in your transit chart? And really get a great understanding of the areas in your life that you need to be more brave, and that maybe you need to give yourself permission to slow down so that you can give more attention to that area of your specific life. Or that specific area of your life. So it's so important that we give ourselves permission to really reflect on what we actually want to say, right? What we actually have to share. So many people are ready to share a message and share their truth, but not all, but sometimes it's just like you're talking out the side of your neck. And so Leo can be really loud. Leo can be really vivacious. Leo can be like really in your face. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, Leo can be really insecure. And so people will feel like you're inconsistent. You know, this is a time where people who are inconsistent, who talk really loud but don't show up and do the work consistently, is like, this is when like they're exposed, because this is the time where there's a lot of talk and not enough action, right? And Cancer is, and it really does conflict a lot with the energy, because the sun is in Cancer, and the sun in Cancer really wants to experience and do things that brings it closer to itself, brings it closer to its home. We're looking for comfort right now, right? We're in a period of comfort. That's what Cancer is all about, is feeling comfortable with one's own security. And this Mercury in Leo season is all about bravery and speaking your truth and stepping out of that comfort. But with Mercury in its shadow zone about to go retrograde in Cancer, so it's going to regress back into Cancer, there is a lot of animosity about things that are unclear, about things that haven't been said, especially with family issues, especially with things with the home. So if you have a home, there might be a hidden issue. There might be something that, you know, especially people who are purchasing. I have a lot of people who are purchasing homes right now. Like, all of my friends are purchasing homes right now. Just be mindful about purchasing things and about sharing information and about how you handle family situations, and be more emotionally inclined to be more sensitive to other people's feelings, because right now a lot of people are trying to find the balance of, well, how much of myself do I share? How much of myself do I expose? What makes me feel comfortable? What makes me feel uncomfortable? Like, that is the place in our life that we are right now, is how much of ourselves are we willing to share? How much of our private life are we willing to expose? And a lot of it has to do with the way that social media and the world is moving with technology and sharing and platforms and things like that. But it also has to do with the human desire to feel connected to something beyond itself. That is what the human experience is it's spirit experiencing itself in multiple realities. So we are at this place where we're having to simultaneously seek a place of peace and inner comfort, that we can feel connected to the divine, but also step outside of our comfort zone and exert ourselves to be more brave. So this Mercury in Leo is not really about shouting from the rooftops. This is about emotionally feeling grounded and secure in our feelings. We're having to internally feel okay first, so that when the sun moves into Leo on July 22nd, and when Mercury stations direct on the 31st, right, we are coming into this place of self-righteousness, self-understanding, self-love. Because if you don't love yourself, you're not secure, period. And if you don't love who you are, then you don't love your life. You don't love. You can't. How can you love someone else if you don't love yourself? So this Mercury retrograde cycle is so powerful, because it starts in Leo and then it moves back into Cancer, and then we come out of Cancer, and we come out of Cancer like feeling like we're coming out of the fire, right? Feeling like we are ready to really understand and be able to share that message. And so this first couple of weeks, right, Mercury will be in Leo through the first transit until from June 26th until July 19th. Now, Mercury stations retrograde on the 7th, so it will start its retrograde cycle in Leo. But on the 19th, it will move into Cancer. Then it will go direct in Cancer on the 31st. Then Mercury moves back into Leo on August 11th. And so right now, this whole transit is like almost 2 months. It's like 6 weeks, right? And so for 6 weeks, our mental processes are going to like literally transform. And so we are going to have to find and face our lowest emotional demons, the part of ourselves that feel like we are not worthy, the part of ourselves that think we don't have a voice, that think we don't have something to say, that think our message is not good enough or right enough or perfect enough or isn't ready. Whatever we want to share, whatever information, how we want to express our truth, we have to come to terms on what is holding us back. Once we come to those terms, which is what this Mercury in Cancer and Leo retrograde cycle is going to be about, when Mercury enters back into Leo on the 11th of August, we are coming out ready, right? And so take this time to face whatever is keeping you from expressing yourself. If it's in your relationships, if this is falling into your 7th and your 8th house and you don't know how to talk to people, you don't know how to share how you feel, you don't know how to be brave about telling somebody, no, I don't want this, or yes, I like it this way, then this is your time to work on that. If it's falling in your 4th and your 3rd house and you're working on emotions and security with your family and your own self-empowerment, then that is what you focus on. If it's falling in your 10th and your 11th house, and you're focusing on how you build your career, your ambition, and how you share that with the greater world, then that's what you focus on. If it's in your 12th and 1st house and you're really coming into this inner peace of collectiveness and finding ways to incorporate that into your individuality, how you showcase your own truth, right? That is what you focus on. And so the focus, no matter what house it is focusing on what is holding you back. What is keeping you from expressing yourself? How does generational karmic patterns keep you from expressing yourself? And do what you need to do as an individual to be able to confront that and be able to say, I am struggling, so that you can receive the help that you need. Right? Leos think they have to be so strong they don't ever want to ask for help. Cancer is always asking for help, but Leo has a hard time. And so it's so important that us come to terms with what is holding us back, which comes to fear. And so Chiron is in Aries. There's a lot of different planetary alignments that are really moving in the favor of mental healing. Healing the thinking mind. That is what this is all about. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to do a separate video specifically on Mercury retrograde, and we're going to go through each house, because I think the signs is a really weird way to do it, because I'm a Libra ascendant, right? But my Libra sun is in my 12th house still is Libra. So my sun is technically in my 12th house. Even though my 12th house is ruled by Virgo, Libra falls in the Virgo house. And so my sun is technically in Libra in my 12th house. So if I looked it up, right, if I looked up Libra 12th house, right, I would pull up a Scorpio ascendant. I'm not a Scorpio ascendant. I'm a 12th house Libra sun with the Libra ascendant. So it's so important. I'm really learning that it's easier to just do planetary things by the house instead of just saying Aries, which is why you need to look up your chart and have your chart out during these readings. Print it out. Don't pull it up on your phone. Print out your natal chart so that you can take notes, so that you can draw on it, have multiple copies, because that is so important. So I love you guys. Like and subscribe. Peace.